Welcome to episode 22 of Hair Biz Radio with your host Zakira and
Mikey.
And today we have Larissa Vaughn hanging out with us. She is a hair and makeup artist for television. She's the owner of Stush Beauty Lounge in Sandy Springs here in Georgia. How are you doing today, Larissa?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Thank you guys so much for having me.
No,
I feel like I'm next to a celebrity over here. Like,
y'all,
you got
her
the
makeup
look,
is
the
flawless.
name, the
Okay.
everything.
If
I'm
you're
like,
watching
whoa.
us in the hair business, you can see it. But if you're not and you're just listening to the podcast, she is slaying
Aw,
the
thank you
makeup
guys.
over here.
You're
Okay.
on YouTube. Make sure you're in that high res on YouTube to catch all this, all right? Please.
Is that Ruby Woo?
Yeah,
I know. Good stuff. So let's just go ahead and dive right into it. How long have you been in the hair industry?
Well, I've been doing hair practically all my life. Like from childhood, it's something that I grew up like always playing with my cousins and like my friends, like practicing on them. And it was a natural skill that I had, and I also like kind of taught myself as well. But as I got older, went through high school, graduated from Penn State University. And after that, I was like, I still want to do hair. I always wanted to have a salon. So that was always like a big dream of mine. So after I graduated from school, I ended up going to makeup school and cosmetology school and got my license. And so I guess all in all, maybe like 8 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where did you go to school?
So I went to Arrojo Cosmetology in New York City. And so I went there and I learned, went through the trenches. It was a big sacrifice, but it was definitely worth it. I'm glad that I did do that. And for makeup, I went to the Makeup Forever Academy. I got into doing makeup as well, like when I was little. I actually had cancer when I was 11.
Oh, wow.
And I was hospitalized for like 2 months. And I had these crazy oxygen masks like taped to my nose with surgical tape. And one of the nurses removed it in the wrong way and had this crazy scar on my face. And so by the time I got out the hospital, I had this black mark on my face. And I was like, oh, I don't want to go to school like that. So my mom, we went to CVS and got all this drugstore makeup. And I just started practicing on myself, how to cover it up because I had to go back to school.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm not going back to school.
Right.
Crazy. So I would spend hours in the mirror and just trying to figure out how to blend and make it look as natural as possible. And I finally figured it out. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I just fell in love with makeup even more because I used to watch my mom get ready and my grandma. I was like, oh, I want to wear makeup, but I was too young. But it just, from there, it was therapeutic. And I always vowed that I wanted to use it as art therapy. When I was in college, I studied human development and family studies. And so I wanted to get my master's in art therapy, but I figured makeup is an art therapy in itself. And so I always vowed to help empower women through beauty because I've sat with women who started crying and they'd never felt so beautiful. Yeah. And it really does change your aura. It changes how you feel about yourself when you look good. So I always want to impart that onto people. And I mean, of course, I love working on TV and stuff, but I also love working with, just your everyday woman and just serving in that
it's
aspect.
that much better when you do it for the purpose. Just you know, instead of just the paycheck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's really good.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, you said, most people would have gave up on life,
Right.
after then, I don't know what to do. Life is over. But instead you found a way and you taught yourself and you started doing makeup. So aside from that obstacle, what were some of the things that you went through in beauty school when you went to cosmetology school and makeup school? Mm-hmm. A lot of people have different experiences. Yeah. Some people, before they go, they want to hear about, what was your experience like in beauty school? I'm thinking about doing it for that person who's thinking about going to beauty school. What was that experience like for
Well, here's the process that I got to it, because at first I was just self-taught. And I was doing things being self-taught, but I wasn't exposed to the level of the industry that I could have been. Mm-hmm. So being self-taught, I was doing things here. But once I went to school, I learned and got education about the industry in itself. and working in different aspects of the industry. So when I was in school, I went to Makeup Forever. There was different like modules. So we would learn like beauty and fashion stuff. We would learn like art and body. So I learned how to like do body painting.
Oh, that's
then
cool.
we would learn how to do special effects. So I would learn how to do cuts and bald caps and like, prosthetics and things like that.
Oh, that's really neat.
Right.
Yeah. So it gave you a full scope of the industry and basically, figuring out what you want to do in your niche. And for me, I wanted to work in entertainment and television and also beauty and fashion. I liked body painting. But I didn't want to be a body painter.
Yeah.
I love body painting.
Yeah, but I didn't want to be a body
what?
painter. But it was cool. Special effects was fun too, but I wasn't into like all the gory stuff. Like some of my classmates got a kick out of it. Like they were just loving it. But it was just discipline, like having discipline and being able to, get up every day. Like you're not necessarily working in the meantime. You're trying to like juggle working and going to school. And so I had to go to school full time, like I think it was maybe 7 months. And, you might want to give up meanwhile you're doing it, but you just have to keep going because you have to just stay focused on the end goal. So. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, no.
That might be like, okay.
No, it's it's interesting because sometimes people feel like they taught themselves so much before going into beauty school, and they feel like it's just kind of like a drag that they already know how to do all this kind of stuff. So it's interesting that, because we hear that a lot actually.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to hear the other side where you felt like you didn't know enough. You went to beauty school and then you really did move up a couple levels, which has now obviously helped you with your career.
Yeah, because I also feel like it's the quality of schools that you go to.
Yeah, definitely.
Like no offense to the other schools, but like there's a difference between like an Araujo cosmetology. Nick Araujo is like one of the most renowned hair artists in the world, really. And so he opened up his own academy in New York. So it's a very exclusive school. And I kind of manifested that because years ago, like I researched the school and I saw it and I was like, oh, I would love to go there one day. And one time I was like driving in New York, my friend picked me up from, I don't know, maybe the Greyhound or something. And we drove past it. I was like, oh, there goes the school I wanted to go to. And she was like,
there's a sign.
Yeah. She was like, well, why don't you? And I thought to myself, well, why don't I?
Yeah.
And so I inquired about it and I met with them. I ended up winning a scholarship actually to go. So I didn't really have to even pay out of pocket. Yeah. Like, so really having faith and stepping out and taking action towards your goals is really how you get to the next level. And just being willing to sacrifice a little bit of your time. Yeah, I think is important.
So did you always want to be a salon owner? I know you always wanted to work in TV. You did? Yeah. So what was that process like so you own Stush Beauty Lounge here in Sandy Springs. So what was the process of getting that salon? Like what were some of the hardships? The excitement, the lows, a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to own my own hair salon. I want to own my own hair salon. And they think it's just going to be like blink and, I have my salon. Yeah. But what was that process like?
Well, for me, it started in like 2014 with the idea of it. And I would always like scout places. So I've been trying to open up a salon for a long time. So I was looking in New York and every time I drove past like a commercial space, I would write down the number and like inquire about it, but it just never worked out. So I feel like divine timing is really definitely essential with everything that you do. Because when you try to do things outside of its time, it's not going to work out for you. Never. And there is like things can run very smooth. Like with this process of opening up my salon, it was very smooth. And like I tell you, I'm a strong believer in God, so I'm going to bring him up. So I feel like God truly finessed that for me because it was something that it was a smooth like opening. Yeah. So I already had like picked out my chairs from years ago, like 2014. Like was already inquiring with, whoever was giving me my chairs. I was like, put them on hold. I don't have a space yet, but put them on hold. So I picked out everything. And so when you're trying to build a vision, you have to put the pieces together along the way. Like everything's not going to happen right away, but you have to start somewhere. So if you want to open up a salon, start planning in advance for it. And so everything else will fall into line. I was just riding around again, and I saw like another commercial space off of Roswell Road. But the first space I wanted, they were not. They said that it was like a conflict of interest because there was like a salon suite up top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So they were like, yeah, you can't, sorry, we can't do it. And I was like, I'm not going to give up.
Yeah.
And so as I was exiting that shopping center, there's another shopping center across the street. And so I saw another for lease sign in the window. I was like, let me ride over there. And so I took their number down, called them. They were like, oh, yeah, we have space, blah, blah, blah. And so they had a space up like in the front area, but there was a salon in the back that had been there for 14 years. And so I was initially looking at the space up front, but it was like too much money. I was like, oh no, this is too much. And then the guy told me, he's like, yeah, the lady who owns the salon in the back, she's actually ready to retire. And she's just over it. So she's been there for 14 years. So that space is open if you want it. And so I had prayed and asked for a space that already had plumbing, all the plumbing that I needed, because a lot of people were trying to discourage me and saying like plumbing is expensive, and I'm sure it is and all that. But so I was like, well, I don't want to deal with that. Like, let there be plumbing in there. And there was plumbing in there. So it all worked out. And I just started meeting people along the way to help me build out the vision. Like I walked up, like I was on a job one time at Park Tavern with this country singer, Bonnie. And I saw some guys working on the place, and I was like, hey, do you guys do outside jobs? Like, can I have your number? And he's like, yeah, but I won't be ready till January. And I didn't finish signing my lease till January. So by the time it all worked out, like he was ready to work. And so I found somebody to build it out, and things just kind of aligned itself along the way.
It seems like it was a seamless process.
Yeah, it was.
But that's just like you said, divine timing.
Yeah.
Like, that's what happens when it's in God's timing.
Yeah. Right away, I've noticed one thing about you. You have a lot of luck when you're just driving around. Like driving around beauty school, driving around out Find My Space.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just keep driving in your spare time.
Yeah,
and all these
you have to
things
keep
are going to happen.
Yeah, that's the word. Like, you have to keep moving. Like, if you're going to stay, like, don't stay stuck in a place expecting things to happen for you.
You have
to
move.
And especially sometimes when people pray and they ask for things, they don't really take a step towards it.
They just be
and
like,
so,
okay, God, I'm waiting. And you're like, okay, I need you to move your feet.
Right. It's a two-way street. It's a relationship. It's like a machine, like everybody has its part to make the end goal work. So it's just about that, doing your job and doing the legwork of whatever, like the door is already open for you. If you don't walk through the door, that's up to you. But you can't be mad or say, God doesn't love me, or I'm not blessed, whatever. You're already blessed, and the door's already open for you. You just have to walk towards it and walk and to go seek it and find it and knock on it.
Faith without works.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Honestly. So.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Legacy of Beauty event, March 25th. Mikey is going to be co-starring in there too.
I don't know about starring.
Yes, you are.
They got me in the beginning just to yell at everybody and say, let's go on, let's go.
But I've heard so much about the event. Yourself, Crystal Jordan from Enchanted PR, and Kels the stylist came together with this huge vision of empowering women in the beauty industry. So just talk to us a little bit about your role in that and what people can expect from you at the event.
Yeah, well, the event is going to be amazing. It's something that I thought of myself and Kel's thought of. And when she reached out to me, she was like, I had this idea, like, let's meet up. And I was talking to my other friend about like doing a brunch for people in beauty. And when me and Kel's met up, she was telling me about this. I was like, oh my God, like I was just thinking about this. It's like another divine timing moment. And so we came together and we're talking about empowering people in the beauty industry, because there's really nothing like it. There's nothing like Legacy of Beauty. There's nothing. There's no brunches geared towards people
just
who are aspiring to be in beauty or just beauty professionals to come together. And a lot of times within the industry, it's like crabs in a barrel. People don't necessarily want to share, or they don't want to pass jobs. They don't want to network with everybody's competing against one another. So we just want to break that ice of like competition and embrace collaboration with each other, because together we can accomplish so much more. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're big believers in that, because we give, for our hair company, and we start a lot of hair companies, we really do give them the path to success.
Yes.
But it's really up to that person to take the path and take these steps.
Yeah.
Because that's one of our, I honestly think it's one of the things that made us very successful in the industry is, like, we don't mind telling people and sharing information.
Yeah.
Because the industry, we've talked about it for years, how closed the industry is. No
like
one wants
hush-hush.
to introduce someone to
Yeah.
someone
Right.
else. Who's your plug? And blah, blah, blah.
People are selling vendor lists.
Yeah.
Like, oh, don't even bring
And
that
then
one
when I
up.
moved
Killing me.
here, it was like on another level.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
what's the name of your salon again?
It's called Stush.
Stush? And, I might have talked to her about this a little bit before, but I would love everybody to know what exactly that means.
So Stush is a Jamaican colloquialism that, and it's also used in like the UK.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like a slang for people who are a little bougie or, chic. It doesn't always have to be bad, but a lot of people who are kind of like bougie and they come in and they're just like really stush and like proper and,
I literally want a
might be
hat or a
that a
t-shirt
little
that says that so bad. I mean, so
We're
bad.
gonna come in here next week, and Mike is gonna have a hat on that says Stush.
There's a good chance, actually, because I will do it.
Hey, don't trademark.
Hilarious.
Oh,
Hilarious.
if it's trademarked, you can just bring me the hat.
Yeah,
then. That's cool.
I'll bring you guys some.
Yeah, that's all good. I'll wear it. I'll wear it on the next. When you see me like that on the next episode, you guys will know what's up, Jamaica.
Right.
Jamaica.
Yeah.
Like, he's crazy.
Yeah.
So, so what else can we expect at the Legacy of Beauty event?
Yeah, so we have, I don't know if everybody's talked about our panelists, but we have some amazing women that are going to be on the panel who have like developed amazing brands. It's just going to be great. I'm so excited. On my part, I'm just coming there for encouraging other people, really, to just keep going and not to quit. Because I think that's so important, especially in this industry. It can be up and down. Like, everything is not always on a high. Yeah, it's really not. And so, like, we do get those great jobs that are like, oh, my God, yes. And there are times where it's like, okay, it's slow. So, just, like, being able to stay in there and be inventive as well at the same time, and always, like, reinventing yourself, recreating, staying in that creative space is so important, I think. And being willing to like adjust and move. Yeah. So yeah, the brunch is gonna be good. We have Jessica Dupart. She's been all over Instagram with her miracle drops.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We have Dr. Larissa. She's a board certified plastic surgeon. So she's coming in to talk about her aspect of beauty, because that's a untapped aspect as well, which I'm trying to get into. It's like the med spa arena.
Yeah.
And we have Danielle James is our moderator from Hello Beauty. Mm-hmm. So they'll be there and she'll be speaking with the hosts. We have Miss Shekinah from 107.
Miss Shanika.
Yeah, Miss Shanika from 107 down here on the radio. Yeah. So it's gonna be really good. Yeah.
It sounds like it's gonna be a lot of amazing women in the building.
Yeah.
And everybody who attends the Legacy of Beauty event, I'm sure will leave with something.
Yeah, they will leave with
something. Whatever
Absolutely.
they came there for, they're gonna get that plus more.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for you ladies.
And real quick with that, before we move on to the next subject, you guys are also have talked about moving this to different cities as well, right?
We have. Yeah,
okay.
So we're in the works of, figuring out the logistics for that and which city. A lot of people are requesting to come to their city. We have people wanting us to come to Delaware and like Philadelphia and Houston. So we're just going to figure out the logistics. This is our inaugural one. So after we, see how everything goes, we're going to kick off with it.
Okay. Yeah. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So you talked about before purpose and how, when you do makeup, you do it because women feel beautiful and, attaching it to purpose versus just a paycheck.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about your nonprofit organization here in Atlanta.
My little baby.
Yeah.
So my nonprofit is called Queens That Serve. And initially I started Queens That Serve to serve people that were in hospitals and like beautify them and bring like light and joy to them. But it also branched out to serving young women, specifically like teenagers. Right now we're doing like a prom drive. So we have our Queen Teen Initiative, and we're collecting prom dresses. So if anybody has any like formal dresses they want to donate, and we're sending a group of girls who are suffering from homelessness, we're sending them to prom like fully decked out with makeup, hair, everything.
Who's giving them all the hair?
Oh, are you supplying? Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I mean, we do that stuff like not as often as I want, but you know, we work with cancer patients for, you know, certain things or whatever. But yeah, we've done something with Zakira's Foundation before. But
wow.
Yeah,
that would be a blessing. Yeah,
for sure. So let's talk after this about you know, how we can work together on that. That would be great.
Yeah,
thank you.
There it is.
Yeah. Boom.
So when did you get started with the foundation?
So I got started in 2013. So I started in New York. And the first time we did the prom drive was that year. And then I moved, and like things got like, and at that point it wasn't a 501c3.
Gotcha.
So I finalized that last year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So that was exciting. And so I really have a passion. It's changing now because there's a high sex trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy down here.
Yeah,
in Atlanta, and I had no idea. Mm-hmm. And so I want to eventually open up like a rescue home or like a restoration house for women or girls who have like endured that, to just kind of like come and like be healed, you know, and then like move on with life. So I really want to, you know, help with that and domestic violence and just help healing other women, because I mean, we've all been through things in life, but you know, nobody deserves to be treated like that.
No.
So
no one.
Nobody. So I want to, and beauty is a part of that, because sometimes people don't feel beautiful after they've been in traumatic situations. So I really want to address those who have gone through different types of trauma in their lives. And so,
I think healing on the inside is needed, but when you add that, you know, splash of beauty to the outside, it just makes you feel good. Like, you know, it's like, okay, I'm beautiful on the inside, but I look beautiful too.
So. Absolutely.
So what are some of your favorite makeup products that you swear by? Like if you had to
see, I'm so not a makeup junkie.
No,
because I like to try new things.
Okay,
like
gotcha.
I'm like, you know, I like to explore to see like what's good. So
well, when you first started, you said you would go to CVS. Well, your mom went to CVS.
Well,
yeah.
Are you still getting CVS?
No, I don't.
Or are we talking a little bit more professional products now?
Like I'll get like sponges if I'm running out. But my favorite. So my favorite are Alcone sponges.
Okay.
They're very dense, and I just love them. I'm not like a beauty blender person. I find that it like kind of absorbs all the makeup. Okay. I'm kind of like how Sam Fine still uses the triangular wedges.
Oh, yeah.
And Sam Fine is like the pioneer of like makeup artistry. I don't even know if like the young people know that, but like he is like the original godfather. And so I just prefer using those sponges. That's probably like my staple product that I really love. I love NARS.
I just started using their foundation, and I love it.
I love it too. But if you have oily skin, it can kind of get your skin a little oily.
My skin is dry, so
so it's perfect for you.
It's perfect.
So it gives you a nice glow. I do like Makeup Forever. I think their products are pretty solid. Before, you know, Fenty came out, they did have a wider range for everybody. So, I mean, out of all the other brands, I do like Armani's foundation for like a skin kind of like dewy texture. What else? I like Inglot. They are a Swedish brand, I believe.
I've heard of them.
Yeah. So I love their eyeliner. It's called 77. It's really dark and black, and it's like a gel liner. I love that. I'm not a big MAC fan. I do like their lipsticks. Well, I like certain things from MAC.
Yeah.
So I like lipsticks from MAC. I like their brow pencils, some of them. I do like their like mineralizer skin finish powder, and that's about it. I don't really do their foundation. It like breaks out a lot of people's skin.
But it broke me out so bad.
So I don't even bother.
Yeah. What about hair products?
Oh, hair products.
Yeah. What hair products do you like swear by?
I like the Kenrick hair like wax stick. That's pretty good. I like Giovanni. I use that in my salon for shampoo and conditioner. I just find that it does really well with all hair textures, and especially natural hair. It just kind of like gives it a nice sheen and shine and like healthy like glow to it. So I like that. I love Joico. I like Joico color as well. I find that it moisturizes the hair. I like Schwarzkopf. I like their lighteners, their Blonde Me lighteners. I like the Main Choice Metabolism hair growth pills. I like those. Those are good. But other than that, I'm not like, I'm not a super product junkie. Yeah. But I like things that work, and I kind of stick to them. So.
Yeah. Have you ever thought of starting your own line of products, like beauty products or
so
makeup?
Yeah, I would like to do that. I'm in the process of starting like a lip line.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
So maybe I can talk to you guys about other stuff. But I make like my own like organic body butters and like tub teas and stuff like that. And that's called Silk and Spice. So it has like natural, like I'm like low-key a Erykah Badu person, but like super glam too. So like I'm so like into teas and like herbs and like stuff like that. So I'm like stush. One of those. Yeah, I'm like one of those people. I'm so stush.
Crazy. So where can people find the Silk and Spice?
Silk and Spice, we're on Instagram. I will relaunch actually. So this website is silkandspice.co. That's the website. So I have things up there as well. But I'm going to come out with like a new line for this spring.
Cool. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then you talked a little bit about coming out with some courses.
Let's
talk about what people can expect.
Yeah.
How it's going to be different. Just tell us a little bit about what those courses
will be.
Well,
these courses will be geared towards... Well, I can't specify, actually.
No.
I'll say I'll do courses for women who want to know how to do their own makeup, like everyday women, because a lot of women just don't, and they don't know what to put on.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know, I just walk out the house or whatever. I'm just like,
just wake up and go.
But they want to do makeup. It's just that they don't know how to. And then like a lot of women brag that they don't wear makeup. It's just because they don't know how to.
Yeah.
So it's just like, if you knew how to, you probably would do it. It's not that, whatever. But so just helping women like know how to do their own face under 10 minutes. I have a lot of women that are like moms who are busy and they don't have time to put on like a full beat. They just want to know how to do their makeup in 10 minutes without their kids running around like being crazy.
These eyebrows together.
Yeah, so I'll have courses for them, and then courses for like upcoming like professionals in the beauty industry, like maybe students who are graduating from cosmetology school, because they don't really teach you how to do makeup there. They just teach you like basics. So just going in depth about just having different modules, like how to do and set etiquette. Like that's a big thing. A lot of people don't know how to operate on set, and they don't have any etiquette. Like this, it's not the same thing as just, I don't know, wherever people are. Like you have to be a certain kind of way. You have to have certain kind of things in your kit for set. So just being prepared with like little details like that, I think would be really helpful for people.
That'll be really good. Yeah, we're going to look out for those courses. Make sure we keep everybody up to date where they can find them at. Let's go back to cosmetology school. So you talked about the cosmetology school that you went to, and a lot of times they don't teach you like how to do sew-ins or how to do quick weaves and stuff. So is that something that you learned on your own?
Yeah, it's something I learned on my own, but I prefer to make wigs.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not like I'm not a big sewing fan because for my hair personally, it like thins my hair out. So I found that like U-part wigs may be a little bit better for me, or like just making a whole wig.
Wigs are taking over.
Yeah, they really are, and it's something that I've always liked to do. It's just kind of like relaxing for me. So I opt to do that, and just being able to take care of your hair underneath, because I'm more concerned about like healthy hair underneath, because a lot of people, like, they'll have like traction alopecia and like they don't have any hair once they take the hair out. So it's just like, you don't want to be that person, you know? So come in, like, take the wig off, like, let's get you a deep condition, like, get that together. But in hair school, my education on like doing like coarse texture hair was watching Good Hair, Bad Hair from Chris Brown.
Chris
Rock. Yeah. So we watched that video, and that was like our education.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah, it was bad. So, and of course I said something, but like they didn't care. I mean, because that's just like how it is.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to know how to do all texture hair. So I have an advantage because I can do all textures. So my clients don't just look like me. Like, I have clients who are Caucasian. I have clients who are Indian, Asian. So I'm able to be in places other people can't, who only limit themselves to doing sew-ins. Yeah. So I think it's important to be able to learn like a broad array of skills, because you'll be able to go on sets for like CNN or, you know, that's where I want to go. Yeah. So I'm going to speak that.
You'll be there. You'll be there.
But you'll be able to get to those places because you know how to do the hair. And so you may not learn how to do sew-ins in cosmetology school, but you'll learn how to do a round brush blowout, and that might take you someplace that doing a sewing can't, you know? So
a lot of people know how to do sew-ins before they even get to cosmetology.
Yeah, exactly.
So they all practice on their friends and whatnot.
That's so true. Yeah. So it's like something you can pick up and practice and learn.
Yeah.
Even YouTube, you know.
YouTube University. Yeah. I started wearing wigs like some months ago, and I don't think I would ever go back to getting a sew-in again.
Yeah, it's kind of convenient.
It's like, just throw it on, take it off.
Right, like, and you'd be free at the end of the day.
Like if I want to just walk around with my little set it off braids, I can do that. Yes, that is so yeah, I love wigs now. Mikey, you never get me to put hair extensions in my hair again with a sewing.
I don't know about that. We'll see.
I don't know.
We'll see.
But so tell people how they can find you on social media, your website, salon location, all of that.
Okay, so my salon is located off of Roswell Road. So we're in the heart of Sandy Springs / North Buckhead, in between Chastain Park and 285. And it's called Stush Beauty Lounge. That's STUSH Beauty Lounge. And that's also our Instagram. My personal Instagram is XO Larissa Vaughn. And so that's LARISSAVON with the XO in front of it. My personal website is Larissa Vaughn Artiste. I'm rebranding that, so it will be XO Larissa Vaughn very shortly. But that has all my work on it, like my portfolio stuff. Yeah. And that's and Queens That Serve, if you want to donate or get involved with Queens That Serve and our mission, we're queensthatserve.org, and also Queens That Serve on Instagram and Facebook.
Make sure if you guys want to donate, gently use prom dresses or anything that you have that they can use for their prom drive. Make sure you reach out to them on Instagram or visit her website as well. But before we go, really quick, just give us one tip for, that young lady that may be wanting to get into the hair industry, and she doesn't know where to start, or, she's just kind of scared to just jump out there. What's one thing that you would tell her?
I think you should study the game before you jump in it. And I think that's just important to, whatever you do, study it before you jump in, because before you get on the court, you need to know what's going on in the game. You need to know who the players are. You need to know what team is what team. So, and a lot of people don't want to study the game. They just want to jump in and be on Instagram and say that they're in the game, but it's study it before you try to jump in. And that means serving. That means being an assistant. That means going out and helping. And I think that's a key law. Yeah. And so I'll be coming out with a book with that. Different laws of manifesting your dreams, because a lot of people skip over that. A lot of people don't want to serve. They don't want to be a servant. They don't want to assist somebody. And so you have to assist somebody before you can get to where it is that you want to go. Like you have to sow those kinds of seeds.
You have to serve your way to the top.
My first job ever was being a salon assistant. I was like 15. And so I was doing the salon assistant work, but I saw like how to run a salon, you know, and then when I graduated from college, oh my God, I was working in corporate America for like a month and I hated it. And I was like, I can't do this. And like, I ended up getting a job with Mac, and I had been trying to get a job with Mac for like years, and it just didn't work out because I was still in school and it just wasn't the right timing. But I finally graduated and I was like, yeah, I'm going to work for Mac. So I quit the job at it's like an admin job in corporate. I was like, I got to wear suits. I didn't like it. I just felt so uncomfortable. So like, don't ever go against the grain, because like a lot of people hate their jobs and they just stay there. But like, you either can stay there and like still work on your dream, or you can just leave and like faith it out, you know, and figure it out and, you know, take that leap of faith. So, I mean, I'm the one who was a little radical and just like left, and I was like, well, I'll figure it out, and things happen. So I ended up working at another salon assisting 2 stylists. And this was in DC. And so I learned, and this was a bigger salon. So it was cool to like assist them, and I got to like watch them and learn different things from them. So it's just important to like learn from other people, I think, and humbling yourself enough to want to learn and to want to serve and like assist somebody else in order to get where you want to go.
Yeah,
I was going to say, definitely a lot of new stylists need to be a little bit more humble.
Yeah.
Because I think they have this huge following or something, maybe beforehand. Maybe like not from hair, but bikinis on the beach or something. And then all of a sudden they're a stylist or something. They know everything. And like, pump the brakes a little bit. You really need to learn this stuff first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Else, you know, you could open your salon and all this stuff. And then next thing you know, like, business just isn't that easy.
Yeah, it's not. And it's a totally different ball game, like business and like building. So I'm in the process of like building my stuff and building my brand. And like, it's a different aspect than what I was used to, because I was always the artist. I was never like the salon owner. So now I'm stepping into this role of like trying to find like the adequate staff. Like, because I mean, in Atlanta, everybody is their own boss here. So it's hard to find the right people, but they will come.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think people are so used to instant gratification. It's like when you get into something, you have to go through the process, or it won't be sustainable. Like
exactly. Right. And those things are temporary. And so it's either you want to build something that's going to have longevity or something that's going to be temporary.
Yeah, and crash.
It's either a one-hit wonder, or you Beyonce.
Like
so
a lot of these rappers, or some rappers, you know, they have these one-hit wonders, and then you never hear
and then
from
they're
again,
gone
because it's, you know, they skip levels.
Right, exactly.
Just gotta max out the level where you are and keep going and going until you make it to the top.
Exactly. And it's hard. It's hard staying where you're at when you feel like you should be over there.
Yeah.
Like increasing in level, but it's the process. You can't skip the process. And if you skip the process, it's not going to be it's not going to be the way you want it to be.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to receive everything that you deserve or is for you when you try to skip the process or like take shortcuts. It's going to set you back even further. So that would be my advice.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Larissa Vaughn, for hanging out with us today on Hair Biz Radio. Make sure you guys follow her on Instagram. Check out her salon, her foundation. And then if you get a chance, stop by Legacy of Beauty and check out what these wonderful, amazing women are talking about. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us today. We truly appreciate it. Mikey.
Yeah, I think everyone needs to make sure they also subscribe to Hair Biz Radio if you haven't already. iTunes and Stitcher. And one last thing I would like to say is make sure you stay stush.
Yes. #so stush. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for coming. That was